partners with Melanesians from Papua New Guinea. Am I on? No? There. Ken actually started out working with a logging company, but quickly decided that this was not his place. So now for more than 24 years, he's been engaged in the fight against logging and working with local communities. Welcome.
Thank you. I would like to join the other colleagues that have congratulated the Rainforest Foundation of Norway on their 25th anniversary. On behalf of my colleagues from the Southeast Asia and Pacific region, we wish you a happy 25th birthday, and we look forward to working with you in the next 20 to 50 years' time. So the region that I would like to talk on is as a large representation of over 3,000 different ethnic and tribal groups. So we're talking about countries like Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Philippines. So it's a very big area of forest, which is the third largest in the global region. So the map on the side is going to, I'll explain a bit further on that. But at the same time, out of all the three regions of rainforest, this region has set a record in forest loss. The rainforest under immense pressure from all the different development activities that we talked about this morning, from logging, from forest clearance for tree plantation, and for oil palm development. And as part of that exercise taking place in the region, many of the local and indigenous communities that are dependent on the forest are having a huge problem. And so what is happening is the forest of Southeast Asia is extremely diverse rainforest region, and it's regarded as one of the significant part of the forest region with lots of biodiversity. And also in the forest of Indonesia, there's a lot of peat forest. And this also provides a lot of regulate the forest systems, provide flow of rivers, and also a rich biodiversity, over 3,000 plant species that depend on the peat forest system. And so if we look at the systems that are happening out there, the threats are basically coming from mining, forest destruction for oil palm and tree plantations. And so out of all this, what is fueling all these things in the region is corruption at a very high level, political corruption. And it has placed a huge threat on the biodiversity, the lives of the indigenous people. As I said earlier, over 3,000 ethnic and tribal groups live in these countries that we represent here. And there is a big struggle that is going on to protect the patches of the rainforest that the people and the communities are dependent on. We have lots of forest policies by all the different countries in the area. But what is happening is there is still a gap for illegal activities taking place because of the high level of corruption. For example, in Indonesia, we have 40 million people living within state forest. And in 2013, through the Constitutional Court, a decision has been made. And that provides a clear signal. But that is also something that has been not exercised properly, and the people are having a continuous struggle. In Papua New Guinea, the area of about 462 million hectares is also home to a vast biodiversity. And it is also considered as one of the tropical wilderness areas with over 10,000 200 endemic plant species. And this is the environment that provides and sustains the people that live in the forest in Papua New Guinea, speaking 800 different languages. And out of all the work that is been happening in Papua New Guinea with the support of Rainforest Foundation and the partners, this is a case study that was conducted by one of the NGOs that is working closely with Rainforest Foundation, Bismarck Ramu Group. An area, as you can see on the map here, was marked for logging operation. The community resisted, and they decided to use the traditional mechanisms to protect the forest. And so in 2003, the community elders with their people decided that we're not going to allow loggers to come in with false promises for road, health services, schools, and other support services that are normally provided under logging contracts. And they decided to close that area and entered into a community deed. And the mechanisms that they used was twofold. One, they were targeting their own local people, the local communities, and the neighboring clans around them. They used the traditional systems by enforcing rules, by planting specific plants that are sacred and gives a very clear signal that no one is allowed to go into the forest when they come across certain boundary areas with the plants in place. So that's the first mechanisms they use, targeting their own local people from not destroying the forest. The second mechanism they use is the legal system. By entering into a community deed, which is recognized by the government and the local authorities, it provides a safeguard against forest destruction. So they have two different mechanisms that they have applied. From 2003, the area of forest protected was 1,000. After 5 years of renewal of the deed, another 1,600 came in place. And in 2013, last year, the community again renewed the deed with an extension of area for protection. So at this point in time, the local community managed to protect 2,000 plus hectares of rainforest from logging. So this is the example of what has happened in Papua New Guinea. And we would like to give a message here that we cannot work alone in the struggle to conserve and protect the rainforest and the people whose lives totally depend on it for their survival. We have to look at different mechanisms that are available. We need to use the local mechanisms that has been there forever, for many, many generations, which is a very effective tool that can apply to the local community, because threats are not only coming from outside, threats are also coming from within the local communities, the neighboring clans, and the neighboring tribes. And so combining different mechanisms, we can be able to protect the forest, and we can also be able to provide and help the local people to continue living sustainably in the environment for the future generation. And so to, once again, to thank the organizers of the conference and also the Rainforest Foundation, our partners who have been very supportive of the work that we have carried out in Papua New Guinea and also the region in Southeast Asia Pacific. We are very pleased, and we will be informing you about the struggles and the achievements that many projects that are funded by RFN are going through. Thank you.